Hi, welcome to my channel. My name's Crystal and I'm so glad you joined me today. Today we're going to be using FLOOTROL, US FLOOTROL, Flood, for our pouring medium and as our cell activator. Also, I have sketched on a tropical fish on this 8x8 canvas. Is it 8x8? And what I'm going to do is outline the fish with puffy paint, and then we'll do the pour. So let me get my puffy paints out. Okay, I got a little bit started because I wanted to make sure that the paint would flow really nicely, and plus I picked a color that I don't usually use. What I'm doing is outlining this fish with puffy paint. That way when we do our paint pour, it will stand out, and then we'll come back with gold and highlight the fish. And also we'll be making a frame. It's going to look really neat, like the fish is kind of swimming off the frame. So here we go. Oh, by the way, it is by Castle. That is the brand, Castle. And I'm not using lemon yellow, I'm using another one I just grabbed. It doesn't matter because it's going to be covered up, but it's going to rise up and I'll know my lines, where my lines are. Okay, so here we go. See if I can get my... Okay, go really slow because I don't want to leave my lines. But if it starts to flow good, I'll run with it. Like right now, that's kind of, it'll run really good for a little bit and then it'll kind of stop up. You'll get used to it. It isn't hard, but it takes a little practice, and it is a darn sure easier than doing it with a glue gun. The glue gun lining is a nightmare. Great idea, but really hard. My little end here is getting a little... jammed up. There we go. Good, we got a little farther, and There. Yay. Very quick compared to using a glue gun. I highly recommend using this. Drawn just a few lines on there. Okay, there we go. Easy peasy, right? All right, now all I'm going to do is use a little heat from my blow dryer to hurry this along so we can dry it, and the next step is going to be taping it off. Okay, we're going to let it dry. Be right back. I ended with saying after we did the puff paint, we were going to line with tape. That is a step next. I'm sorry about that. Here's the next step, which is going to be mixing your paint with FLOOTROL as a pouring medium. Okay, I used 2 tablespoons or 1 ounce of FLOOTROL to I wrote it down, to 2 pea-size amounts of tube paint. And when I say tube paint, I mean, you know, this kind, not the fluid or craft paint. I'm using tube paint only. Okay, and it's same thing as far as consistency. As you can see, you mix, and mix, by the way, and it'll pour off your stick and make a small mound. Same idea, same consistency. We're just using FLOOTROL and paint. How simple. And we're going to see how that works, and we're going to do a pour. So this will be the first time for me doing it. I'm hoping it turns out right. I'm going to go ahead and give you a little tip on, just a second here. A little tip about the US Flood FLOOTROL. It has lumps in it sometimes, and so you're going to want something to filter that out so that you don't get lumps in your pouring medium or your base or whatever you decide to use the FLOOTROL for. Now, what I do, move this over a little, is get yourself a bottle. I got mine at the Dollar Tree, and just want to make sure you can see. And after I've taken off the lid, as you see, I put some cheesecloth, see that, right over the top so that it'll strain any kind of lumps or bumps that are in there. All right, so once you've done all of that, you know, little rubber band to hold it on, and of course you always keep the lid on. For now though, I'm going to pour in our pouring medium into our cup. There we go. Just like that. I try to make sure to keep drippage down because I want that cheesecloth not to get stuck and not open the lid. Okay, once you've poured yourself your FLOOTROL in your tube, I'm going to use a little purple and show you what pea size I mean. If I can get it to come out. Or, you know what? I forgot to take the lid off. Hold on. It's a brand new tube. Hold on. Alright, it was a brand new tube. So, alright. Pea size. Make sure you guys can see. 1 and 2. And that little bit that wants to hang on, you've got to come off of there. Grab me my stir stick. There we we go. Now if I need more paint, I'll add more paint, okay? And then stir, stir, stir. Stir, stir, stir. While I'm stirring, I can give you some information. I use a notebook and write things down when I'm seeing a new recipe or something that interests me. And this really did interest me because the Australian FLOOTROL is so expensive. Oh my goodness. And it was so hard to get and wait and all that. So I decided to try my luck at the US Flood FLOOTROL. Okay. PM to paint ratio estimate. It's FLOOTROL PM is as a pouring medium. Take your tube paints, and it's going to be 2 parts FLOOTROL to 1 part paint. Okay. Wrote that down so I can say it a little better. If mixture is too thin, then you can add more FLOOTROL if it's too thin. Or add more paint if it's not quite the color you want, which is a little bit on the light side. I tend to like a little brighter. So I'm going to add another pea size little droplet in there. I don't measure a lot, which is to my, that's my bad. But I do, I pay attention. What's most important is going to be your consistency. And you want to just, with the FLOOTROL and mixing a tube paint, even if you were using a fluid paint, you stir, 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 okay? I'm showing you now what a tube paint requires, because that's all I'm going to use on this painting. And then check your consistency. Oh, that looks good. Okay. See how it just runs off the stick and makes a small mound and disappears. That's what we're looking for. So we've got the purple. That was by Arteza, and Pearl Royal Purple. Okay, the first color I mixed was from Liquid-X Basics and Turquoise Blue. Okay, and let me just set these aside. And let's get to mixing. The next color I'm going to use is going to be Arteza, and it's Pearl Pink. And I haven't opened this one or used it yet either, so I'm going to pull the little tab off. That way we can use it. All right. And what I'll do is I'm going to mix 2 more colors, and you don't need to see every color mixed, I'm sure. I gave you the ratio and stuff. So let me go ahead and mix the FLOOTROL and the pink together and a couple other colors. Okay, I've got all the paints that we're going to use mixed, and I'll kind of go through them with you. I already gave you some of them. This one is also Arteza Pearl Copper Gold. Okay, we also are going to be using from Arteza Pearl Acrylic Blue. Also from Arteza we're using Pearl Sage Green, and also the Pearl Raspberry Red. That should be our pop color, I think. And we showed you the Liquid-X, and I showed you all the other colors. So let me just put my paints back up. Okay, I'm all back. As I was saying, giving you the list of the different color paints that we are using. This is an experiment. I have never done it. It is going to be a flip cup using FLOOTROL as a pouring medium. Yes. Now, I've seen it done with a swipe, and I've seen it done with blooms, but I have not seen it done with a flip cup. fail? Maybe. Maybe not. It's not that important that I get cells and things like that. If there's some, great. If not, it's okay. I've got pretty colors, and this is an experiment, like I said, and maybe it'll help some folks, because I know the bloom recipes and in the old days are a nightmare. Even down to a liquid ink paint that you gotta buy and use. But anyway, we're going with the new stuff, and this is just using Flood Floetrol from America. All right, here's our flip cup, and I'm just gonna start layering it, and then we'll go to flipping it and see what we get. So let's see, what color do I want to start with? I believe I'd like to start with the purple. Little stir. Like that. I mixed a little white. Oops, and I made a little dribble here. Let me catch that before it's in my fingers. All right, down. Now, the next color is going to be some blue. To come in a little with this beautiful copper. I was excited to see that color. I thought it was I think it's so pretty. There we go. And I wanted to use a little sage green. And we did have some of a different blue, so let's put that in there before I am so full of paint here. We may have too much paint there, and I wanted that pop raspberry color, so let's put that in there. Okay, boom, boom, boom. And I think that just a little bit of white on the top. Make it a sandwich, they call it. There. All right, let's get things out of our way and get ready for our flip cup. My notes out of the way. Anything else I wanted to tell you? There really isn't anything else. It's just super new. Just using Floetrol as a pouring medium. You can also use it as a base for your blooms and things like that. I've seen that done. All right, well, here we go. We've got our cup, and it is mega full. So I'm thinking I better grab me some more paper towels, because this looks like it might be a little messy. So I'm just gonna slip a little bit of paper towel around like that. Here. And some over here. there we go. Oh, one more. And that's for me. I got my paint clothes on, though. You guys getting tired of seeing me in them? Okay, here we go. This is going to be fun, and I've got a full cup. Probably a little bit too much, but we're going to give it a go. Oop. See, let some slip out. We're just going to let it sit there a minute. I like that blue and that pretty apricot, I believe it was. Oh, I forgot now. They're new artisan paints, so I don't have all the names down yet. Okay, here we go. Let's just go for it. There we go. Just putting some on the edges here, very sloppily, but let me bring that back to the center. Ooh, we got some air bubbles and everything, don't we? Get our little skewer, or I could do the blowtorch and pop them that away. I rarely get bubbles, so where is the, okay, guess I'll just torch them. Just real quickly. There we go. All right, and we're gonna just move our paint to cover the sides and corners. And just like that. And there we go. And that side needs a little help. I needed a little help. How we doing over here? Okay, good. We doing good. Looks good. Now that is a FLOOTROL flip pour. How interesting. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to try something new like this. Isn't this neat? Wouldn't that be great? If this works out, the money that we will save will be great, because FLOOTROL is only like $13 for a big old gallon of it. So save some money. That would be great. And I can put it in good tube paints and, you know, do different things. All right. Well, I'm gonna see if I can give it another torch and see if possibly we have any cellular activity at all. I see something. There's a lot of bubbles. Getting a little bit of lacing, not a whole lot of anything. So this experiment may be a fail, huh? I don't know. There we go. There wasn't much of anything there. All right, let's just sit it there and let it rest. And I think I see something in my paint. And I keep a little I see something right there, and I'm gonna get it out. There we go. Yes, it was some kind of a little, don't know what it was, but it's gone. Seeing some more bubbles. Alright, oh, now we're getting a little action. Maybe it just needed to sit. This is completely new to me, and I have not seen anybody else do it. The gold is gorgeous, isn't it? Looks like I might needed to have just let it rest, like what happened, because now I'm getting little ends. Alright, before I hit my napkin into my, I think I'll stop there. Move this out of the way so that won't do that to me again. But there we go. Now our fish, and you can barely see it, it's in there, and as the paint dries it'll sink. It'll also darken slightly, and then we'll be able to come back with, and then I'm going to use the Castle, the gold puff paint, and re-go over the lines of the fish, and it should be beautiful with this background. So stay tuned until it dries. I'll be back, and for you it'll be a second. And thank you so far for joining me, and we will see how this beauty works later. Bye. Or not really bye, because you're going to see me in a second. So it'll be a couple days for me. Bye. Hi, everybody. How are you today? We are now continuing, because it's been 2 days since I did the pour, and that's with the fish, and experimenting with FLOOTROL as a pouring medium. And I expected some cells, but got none. But it did not dry darker like I thought, and it dried pastel-y and beautiful. And so that's what I want to do, is just turn this around so that you can see it. I have not done the next step. The next step is going to be placing tape around the border, making it a frame, making the fish look like it's going to float off the canvas. Okay, let me show you what it looks like now. I guess you'd call it a flyover. But looky there, it sank beautifully, and the purple outline of the fish remained. Isn't it pretty? I love the colors. The colors are beautiful. Yay to Arteza and some gorgeous colors. Got a very pearlescent, iridescent look. I don't know whether I'm going to line them with purple, like it is, like it remained, or I'll do gold. So that's next. Alright, it's going to be taping it off time. So here we go. And this is going to make a frame. I'm going to do this all the way around. And this is a little thin for me, so I'm going to make the frame a little bit wider. Like that. And then I'm going to be doing it all the way around, just like this. hurt my thumb, so having a hard time cutting the tape away. All right, other piece to make it a little wider. There. Boom. Forgot I had the little turntable. I have to move the painting. Alright, I got one more to go. Okay, once you've got your taping on, go ahead and just really make sure that you got a good seal between the tape and the fish. Because you don't want any bleeding. So I always run my nail right on those edges really well, especially where the puff paint is, because we don't want any leaking onto the fish. So that's kind of our danger area. And like I said, I just try to take my nail and make sure that it's very well sealed. Then we're going to use just plain old good old white by Apple Barrel Plaid, just acrylic white, and I'm going to come in here and we're going to paint around the tape and the fish white. Okay, then we'll take off the tape and then we're going to go over the lines of the fish with our puffy paint, and I did decide to come back over it with gold. Okay. Alright, so what I'm going to do here, oh, by the way, some people question me on the type of brushes that I use. This one is Transin, and it's a size 5, round. So I'll let you know that. And when you're going around something that is taped off, you want to make sure there's no bleed. So I always do this, not like that, so that I don't push it under the tape. I'm pushing the paint on top of the tape so that there's no bleed. See maybe a little bit, see what I'm doing there, and just keep picking up paint, keep it smooth as you can. Now this was a experiment using FLOOTROL as a pouring medium, and I think it turned out really pretty, different. It made the colors very, very pastel-y. I thought they might dry darker. But it was an experiment. I probably won't do it with just FLOOTROL as a pouring medium again. But it was a good try. And maybe help somebody else who is, thinking about using the American FLOOTROL Flood. So when I refer to FLOOTROL, I am referring to the American brand, okay? I did not get the Australian. As you see, this is all I'm doing, is painting around the fish background, and I'm making it white. And I'll do a little bit more and bring you back in. Alright, we're about, see what I meant by painting in the blocks around the fish. That's what I've done here, and still doing. I'm just about done. And then we're going to lift up the paint, and then the last step is going to be applying the puffy paint around our fish one more time. What I did like about using Floetrol as a pouring medium is it sank really well. It covered the canvas beautifully, and it didn't cover up the color of the original puffy paint that was on there. I don't know why that is, but some places it did cover it, and other places it didn't. So that was our experiment with Floetrol as a pouring medium. Oh, somebody may ask, was there any cells or anything like that? No. And I didn't add any kind of silicone or anything like that. I just wanted to see how Floetrol would act as a pouring medium. And it did great. Go. Let's check around, make sure I got enough white everywhere. Go. I see a little bit here we need. It usually takes 2 coats, sometimes 3. With the Floetrol mix and pour, it looks like it's only going to take 2. Not sure why that is, but it is. Alright. I'm going to finish just touching up a little bit. Alright, I did all the white. It should be dry. It's still a little damp. But that's okay. We're just going to go ahead and take off the paint. Or the tape. What did I say? Take off the paint. I meant take off the tape. I do that a lot on my channel, by the way. I call things the wrong thing. That's just me. Okay, sorry about that. And there we go, going to the next one. This is always the fun part for me. I enjoy it. We will be going over all of the lines of the fish again, but this time we're going to use gold. And I'm really loving the, I want to say, it's iridescent. The pouring the Floetrol as a pouring medium made the paints really pastel-y. Very, very pretty. I really, really like it. Okay, so if you know, you've run out of your regular pouring medium and you have some Floetrol around and you want to do a painting, you can use it. Okay, let's go down this side. Go, and then back there. I did want a wide border so that the fish looks like it's swimming off its frame. Good. We had no bleeds or anything. Isn't that great? Love it. And nor did the paint from the Floetrol come off on my tape at all. Nothing. Look how pretty. I love it. The copper gold undertone that came out and everything. And once I line it, which we're going to do now, is, again, with the Castle Puffy paint, and I'm going to be using it in gold. And I'm going to get it, because it's getting on the low side, I may have to open another bottle. So let me get this working and be right back. I had to change out into the second bottle of my Castle Gold, so that's why you see some starting, because I was pretty sure I was very close to having no more left in the other bottle. And I just wanted to point out, I got the idea to line my projects like, not with puffy paint, but I had the idea of using the glue gun. That comes from A.B. Creative, and she uses a glue gun to do all her outlines. And I did that. I tried it. I really hated it. It is really difficult to get a smooth line, and it takes a good long time and patience and a steady hand. So then I got to thinking, what else could I use? And then the puffy paint came into play, and I found it to be really good. As you can see, it flows out really easy. I'm not getting bumps and lumps and things like that like you do with the glue gun, and a lot faster. Just like that. There we go. Go. I think what I'll do is come over here and highlight his fins or feet or hands. Thumb's getting sore from squeezing the bottle and trying to be so careful. I'll warn you of that. You'll get a little nervous and shaky in the beginning. There we go. And now I want to do his mouth, just like that. Oh, we're doing good. Okay. Boom. Go. And we're just going to get this little fin here and this little fin on the side. Boom. And let's give it an eye. boom, we've got the eye. Oh, I got a little bit down there I need to do. Then we'll be done. We'll put some varnish on him. And he is for sale. If anyone's interested in purchasing any of my art, or you know, commission me to do something for them, I'd be more than happy to do so. My email address is Crystal's email add@yahoo.com, and I will put that in the description box, just in case you might want one, or commission me to do one of certain colors or whatever. I'm more than happy to do so. I really actually enjoy it. I missed a little line right there. Okay, good. All right, there we are. Fish is complete. Cleaned out a good bottle, but I'll probably be able to get some more out of it. And I'm gonna have to buy some more, because I love doing this, and I love the way the gold. What do you think? Let's do a flyover. I'm gonna bring him really close. So you can see how pretty the colors are. Look at that. So Floetrol as a pouring medium worked out great, and it gave the colors a very pastel-y look, if that's what you're after. And I'll go ahead and bring him down and take pictures and varnish it and all that good stuff. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you on the next one. Keep creating, guys, and I would love to see some work. If I inspire you, I would love to see your work. I'm on Facebook and Instagram, Crystal Guill, Guill. I'll put that in the description box too. Give me a thumbs up if you like it, or a thumbs down if you don't. Comments, oh, I love comments. And subscribe if you haven't already. And I look forward to doing another one for you. I've already got another idea. And that'll be the next video, though. Thank you for joining me on this one. God bless everyone. Bye-bye.